Hey, welcome. It's Desiree Stafford. Super excited to have you with me today. I had to find another corner of the house to do today's live stream all about repurposing because the sun was literally killing me. So anyway, we're here now, and I want to talk to you about repurposing your content so that you can be everywhere all at one time without burning yourself out, okay? Because what I see people do, what I was doing for a very long time, is you're like constantly creating pieces of content after content after content, and sometimes it can wear you out, right? So what do you do with the content that you already have that's already awesome, it's already magnificent, it's already able to convert potential clients? Hey, Amy, how are you? It's able to convert clients, but you let's say you put a post out there, maybe it brought in one client and then you did nothing with it. You just kind of let it sit there, right? Or you did a webinar, maybe that brought in a few clients and then you just let it sit there, right? Or maybe you've done live streams and that may have brought in a couple clients and then you just let it sit there. Well, instead of letting it sit there, how about we reuse it? How about we repurpose it so that it's working for you all the time? All right. So I'm going to share 3 different ways, actually more than 3 ways, but we're going to look at 3 different pieces of content that you may have and how you can repurpose it so that it's constantly working for you. It's constantly bringing to you qualified leads who are going to become happy clients. All right. So the first, oh, by the way, let me reintroduce myself. It's Desiree Stafford. I am the creator of Radical Freedom and Effortless Client Flow. Now, let's talk about how to repurpose your content. All right. So let's say, for example, you're doing Facebook live streams or any kind of live stream like I'm doing today. Well, a way that you can repurpose it and have it continue to serve you is by taking the live stream and downloading it and putting it over on YouTube. Sounds simple, but so many people forget to do this. I was forgetting to do that for a really, really long time. You can also decide to take the same video and make it into a video podcast if you choose. So those are 2 different ways that you can repurpose the same live stream videos that you have already working for you. How about that? All right. The second thing, hey Joy, how are you? The second thing are webinars, okay? I love webinars. I use them all the time in my business, and there's still a way that you can take a webinar and repurpose it, okay? So the first thing you can do is you can separate, depending upon how you recorded the webinar, you can separate the video from the audio, and you can turn the audio into a freebie. Right? So separate than the webinar itself. You can also take the slides and repurpose the slides into another freebie, like a PDF report, right? Why is this important? Because there are people who like to consume information visually. There are people who like to consume information through, hearing. There are people who like to consume information by reading, right? So if you can take your current content and repurpose it in multiple forms, it's consistently working for you in the form that works best for your client, and you can perform it in whatever medium you desire to deliver it in. Make sense? All right. So another way that you can repurpose a webinar, and I've actually done this, is you can take your webinar, you can have it transcribed, and you can turn that into a book. I did that. My first book, it happened to become a best-selling book on Amazon. That's where that book came from. It came from a repurposed webinar, all right? So this is how you can take your content, and sometimes you have to go back and tweak it. You have to massage it a little bit. But this is a way that you can repurpose your content, right? So that it's, again, constantly working for you. It's also working for the clients in the way that they like to consume information, so everybody's happy, all right? Exactly. Different type of learners, Joy. Thanks for that comment. The third piece of content or type of content that you can repurpose are your Facebook posts, okay? So if you're like me, sometimes your Facebook posts are epic. They're long. It's like a book, right? You can take that Facebook post and you can turn that into a book. You can take multiple Facebook posts and turn it into a book that's either paid, so maybe something that you upload onto Amazon, through the Kindle format, or it can become a free report that you market maybe through Facebook ads, or if you do a podcast interview or a Telesummit interview, any of those kind of things where you need a free report, a free gift to give, you can, take some of your Facebook posts, some of the best ones, the ones that have gotten the best comment, feedback, maybe they've actually converted to clients for you. You can take those and compile them into a book. Okay. The second thing that you can do is repurpose your Facebook posts as your emails. I do that all the time, right? Anything, well, not anything, but most of the really valuable content, heavy content stuff, like where I'm really explaining different things and different aspects and different insights of whether it be mindset, whether it be how to attract clients, whether it be, working through things around, charging for your programs, all that kind of stuff. I typically take those posts and I repurpose them. I send that to my email list as well. okay? Because not everyone who reads my email is following me on Facebook, and not everyone who's following me on Facebook is on my email. So I like to try to reach people in many different formats, okay? The other thing that you can do with your Facebook posts, if you're posting consistently, you should have a pile of content that's waiting to simply be repurposed in the same format, right? So every quarter you can go through and look at some of the best posts that you've had that's gotten some of the best reaction or response, and just simply repost it, right? Sometimes you might tweak the title to see if a different title is going to give you a different response. Maybe you want to change the image that goes along with that post. There's so many different ways. And sometimes you can also, like if you've grown or you have a greater insight, you can also then massage the post in and of itself. So it's the same content, it's the same topic, but maybe you just shift things a little bit, right? But you're not recreating the wheel over and over again, because that's what we tend to do. We tend to get in this habit of feeling like, if I'm going to charge, because I help my clients charge high-end fees, I've got to put out all of this, amazing content, and I've got to work really hard, to prove my worth. Well, the reality is you're already good at what you do, right? You have to maybe shift your perspective so that you can raise your fees, but you're already good at what you do. And 9 times out of 10, you have amazing content that either hasn't been seen yet because it's not being put out in the format that you're. Thanks for the love, by the way. Hey, Michelle, how are you? It's not being consumed in the format that your ideal client likes to consume it in. Or maybe it's been consumed, but maybe they need a reminder. Maybe, a couple months down the line or a couple weeks down the line, they need to see that again. So what I'm saying to you is don't take your epic, amazing content and leave it sit there. Repurpose it. It serves you, so you're not burning yourself out, trying to be a content machine when what you really want to do is serve the clients that you're here to serve. And creating content's kind of like a side aspect of that, but you really want to be coaching your clients, mentoring your clients, being there with them, being available to them, having the energy to serve them really powerfully. And you probably don't want to be spending all of your time, trying to figure out today, what do I have to write about? Today, what do I have to live stream about? You know what I mean? So you can take the content that you have that is already good, that is already creating an impact, and repurpose it. So let me share with you, again, some of the ways that you can repurpose your content, okay? So the first thing that I shared with you is Facebook Live. So if you're doing Facebook Lives, like I'm doing Facebook Lives, you can download your videos and you can upload them to YouTube. You can also download the videos and upload them to a video podcast, okay? So this is how you can stretch your content. So you're not even just on Facebook, right? Facebook may be your main platform, but there are lots of people on YouTube. Right? There are lots of people who are going and listening to videos on iTunes, okay? Or Stitcher or whatever, I forget what that's called, I guess a platform or what have you. The second type of content that you can repurpose are your webinars, okay? So if you're doing a webinar, you can, depending upon how you've recorded it, okay, you can separate the slides from the audio, okay, and you can create 2 different freebies. You can create an audio freebie. You can create a PDF downloadable report from your slides, okay? You can also have your webinar transcribed and use that as a book, okay? That's what I've done. That's what you can do as well. So much faster than sitting down trying to type out a book, okay? The third thing that you can do is if you have written Facebook posts, you can take those posts, you can compile some of the best ones and turn that into a free PDF report. You can combine some of the best ones and turn that into a book that you upload to Amazon and make some money on. You can copy the post and put them or send them to your email list. So the people who are subscribing to you, in case they're not following you on social media, you can send them the same information. And then last but not least, every quarter you can go back and look at some of the most popular posts that you wrote, the ones that, made the biggest impact, the ones that brought you clients or more leads or whatever they've done for you, and you can repurpose them in the same format. Okay. So again, this is about not having to recreate the wheel, not having to drive yourself crazy trying to create content. And what you really want to do is serve your clients, right? What you really want to do is have the energy to serve the people that are, have made a financial commitment to you already, right? You don't want to be spending your time like ripping your hair out trying to figure out, well, what the hell, what hell am I going to talk about today? What the hell am I going to, write about today, right? You don't have to do that. Okay, and this gives you permission to allow for marketing to be easier for you. Okay, and it also gives you permission to do marketing in the form that feels most authentic to you while still being able to reach your potential clients who may have a different learning style, like Joy mentioned, right? did you touch on Zoom? Hey, Rosa, how are you? I did not touch on Zoom. What's your question? Ask me what your question is. Thanks, Michelle. I'm glad you love my lives. I love yours too. I think I covered everything I wanted to cover. So does anyone have any questions? Because I see some people are just joining. Does anyone have any questions for me? And Rosa, if you can get more specific about your question regarding Zoom, I'd love to answer it for you. Because again, this is about giving yourself permission to, be able to focus on the work that you're really here to do while still putting out great content that can support your clients and your potential clients. Cool? All right. Can that be saved? Can Zoom be saved? Is that your question, Rosa? Yeah. I typically record my webinars via Zoom. I love the platform, and it's one of those platforms that allows you to separate the slides from the audio, or essentially the way that it records is that it will allow you, after it does its recording, it will allow you to just take the audio recording and repurpose that. Make sense? Yes, you can. Exactly. Video and audio from Zoom. Can it be saved? Absolutely, Rosa. It can be saved. Okay. So anyone else have any other questions before we wrap up today? Hope you got some value out of today's video. If you have, I invite you to like, comment, and share it. If you would like some support around attracting more high-end clients and you would like a free training on how to do that, you can sign up for my masterclass on how to attract a steady flow of clients at DesireeStafford.com/masterclass. And until we speak again, guys, I hope you're up to big, bold things in your life and in your business. Take care.